What does the ancient Egyptian text on this piece of linen say? This linen was found in the embalming cache of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, so let's talk about it in this Artifact Insight video. I've talked about the embalming cache a couple times before, but essentially it was a small burial discovered in 1907 in the Valley of the Kings. Inside was a number of jars that contained items that were used in the funeral of Tutankhamun as well as the last funeral meal. These jars and these contents are now located at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Inside some of the jars were pieces of linen that had small hieroglyphic inscriptions in the corner. In other non-royal tombs where large pieces of linen have been found, similar inscriptions have been described as quote-unquote laundry labels. In that corner of the piece of linen, it will say the name of usually the deceased person. And it's an indication that these pieces of linen would have been actually sent out for washing, and thus had a label as to who needed it and would receive it back when it has been washed and dried. But this piece of linen does not appear to be a similar case. In this piece of linen cloth, there is two inscriptions in two different places. In the upper corner, the inscription reads, "The good God, Lord of the two lands, Neb Heper Ure, beloved of Min, linen of year 6. Technically, you might be able to say that this is a laundry label because it does have the throne name of King Tutankhamun, Neb Heper Ure, but you would also assume that his laundry probably didn't need to be labeled. The other inscription, which is in the center bottom of the sheet, is actually in hieratic, which is a cursive form of ancient Egyptian writing, and unfortunately thus far has not been able to be deciphered because it's not that well preserved, and hieratic is actually much harder to read because every scribe has their own handwriting. What is very interesting is that they name the year of Tutankhamun's reign that this linen was made, which helps us determine how long his reign actually was. This is actually a very common practice within pharaohs to label objects with the year of the pharaoh's reign, with wine or beer bottles being one of the most common things that are labeled. These labels help Egyptologists actually solidify how many years a pharaoh has reigned.